The Roundup at Rio Ranch by Angela Shelf Medearis. Jose! My brother Antonio yells, "Wake up! Today you are going with us on the Roundup." I jump out of bed and pull on my blue jeans and boots. I've been waiting a long time to go on a cattle roundup. The sun is coming up, but it is still cool outside. I shiver a little. We are going to count the cows in the back pasture. Papa likes to start working before it gets too hot. I put on my hat and tie a red bandana around my neck. My grandfather smiles at me. "You look like a real vaquero, a real little cowboy," Grandfather says. He has told me all about the Spanish soldiers who brought herds of cattle from Spain to Texas in the 1800s. As the herds grew bigger, the soldiers became vaqueros, or cowboys. Vaca is the Spanish word for cow. "Do you want to ride in the truck with me?" Grandfather asked. "No, thanks. I want to ride my horse," I say. Papa, Antonio, and I saddle our horses. Papa helps me put my Western saddle on Sugar. A Western saddle is really comfortable. It's got a large seat and a saddle horn so that cowboys can tie their lariats to it. Sugar nudges me with her head. She is a Mustang. Mustangs are small, tough, and hard-working. They were brought to Texas by the Spanish soldiers who became cowboys. Mustangs are good at rounding up cattle. "Here is your lariat, Jose," Papa says. "It is the same one I used when I was your age." "Thank you, Papa," I say and give him a hug. The lariat is a long nylon rope. It has a loop on one end. I try to throw the loop around the fence post, but it lands around Antonio instead. "Moo!" Antonio yells. He laughs and paws the ground with his boot. "Just keep trying," Grandfather says. We ride toward the back pasture. Sam and Sis, our cow dogs, run after us. They help us round up the cattle. It is very hot and dusty. We carefully check the barbed wire fence as we ride along. I help Papa and Antonio fix a broken post. We use a post hole digger, called a poseta in Spanish, to dig a new hole. Then we string barbed wire between the posts to keep the cattle from running away. The roar of a helicopter comes towards us. I look up and wave at the pilot as he flies over us. We use the helicopter to help us count the cows that hide in the deep brush. We ride into the back pasture and start rounding up the cows. The dogs bark and nip at the cows' heels. Grandfather drives around and around. He uses the truck to herd the cattle toward us. Papa and Antonio rope the cows with their lariats and move them into the corral. I whistle, yell, and swing my lariat. I keep missing the cows. "Just keep trying," Grandfather shouts from the truck. Papa and Antonio count the cows and calves. They check their ear tags to make sure all of the cows belong to us. They inspect them to see if they are healthy. The cows need to be moved from the back pasture to the one on the east side. They have eaten most of the grass in the back pasture. Luckily, there is plenty of grass in the east pasture. After we move the cows, we put out big blocks of salt. The cows crowd around the salt, licking it with their long pink tongues. Next, we check the water in the tanks to make sure the cows have enough. Finally, we are done and it's time to go home. Papa and Antonio ride ahead of me. Sugar cannot canter as fast as their horses. Soon I am far behind. Dust covers my face. It gets into my eyes and nose. I slow down to a walk and wipe my face with my bandana. "Wait for me!" I yell, but they are too far away to hear me. Sugar and I are too little to keep up with Papa and Antonio. "We'll be fine," I say, patting Sugar's neck. Suddenly, I hear a funny noise. I stop to look. Something is tangled up in the bushes at the bottom of the hill. It is a small brown calf. The hill is too steep for me to climb down. I try to figure out what I should do. There is no one around to help me. I gently swing my lariat through the air. It lands near the calf. I roll it up and try again and again. Finally, the loop lands around the calf's foot. I pull the loop closed with a yank. The calf slides out of the bushes crying. I loop the rope around the saddle horn. "Get up there, Sugar," I say. Sugar pulls the calf up the hill. "Easy now, girl. Whoa!" Sugar stands still and the calf pulls against the rope, trying to get away. I walk toward it, softly singing a little song. I gently check the calf to see if it is hurt. There are some deep scratches on its left leg. Taking the medicine out of my saddlebag, I put it on the scratches. Just then, Grandfather drives up in the truck. He looks pleased when he sees the calf. "Good work, Jose," Grandfather calls to me. "Only a true cowboy can spot a calf in the brush, rope it, and pull it to safety." I smile at Grandfather as I take my lariat off the calf. It shakes its head and trots off. "Rounding up cattle is hard work. Let's go eat," Grandfather says. "And after dinner, you can tell me more stories about the vaqueros," I say, grinning. Sugar neighs happily as we follow Grandfather's truck home.